Hello, hello, and welcome to the Midlife Vitality Project. For week one, we are going to be focusing on what you want most, which is reigniting your metabolic spark. This is where you're going to rediscover your energy and we're going to reset that metabolic switch that seems to be wreaking havoc a little as you are navigating through some hormonal changes that are happening inside your body at this point in our lives. Now, the goal for week one is to make sure that you are going to get relief, immediate relief from fatigue, bloating, cravings, and mental fog, which are typically the most troubling and the most prevalent types of symptoms that women in midlife struggle with initially. We're going to be focusing on resetting your blood sugar levels and easing the pressure on all of those body systems that are currently being overworked. Now, the promise I can give you here is that you are going to be embarking on a true transformation and you're going to start to see results relatively quickly. We're going to remove what is causing the internal chaos, and we're going to introduce simple practices that are going to restore your body's natural rhythm and energy. The approach that we will take will be gentle. It will be simple to follow, where we will be building change upon change in a sustainable way that honors your body's wisdom while creating immediate improvements in how you feel day to day. So for day one, we're going to focus first on making sure you understand what is going on and what the rest of the week will look like. So what is it that's actually going on in your body now that you are in the perimenopausal era? Well, the symptoms that you're experiencing, first and foremost, it's important you understand that they are not your fault. They are simply your body's response to a perfect storm of biological and lifestyle factors. A few things are going on. First and foremost, hormonal shifts. As we get to this point in our lives, it may be earlier for some women, it may be later for others, but eventually you will experience an inevitable decline in estrogen and progesterone. And as a result, this is naturally going to disrupt your metabolism, your sleep quality, and you're going to struggle with regulating your emotions. Now, what can happen in addition at this age is our body becomes overloaded with stress, chronic stress. Chronic stress will spike our cortisol, which is a hormone that our body secretes when we are under constant strain. It's going to destabilize our blood sugar levels and promote storage of belly fat. We are also going to experience increased levels of inflammation, and this happens even worse when we have added sugars and processed foods in our day-to-day diet, and this triggers a system-wide inflammatory response, which then has an even bigger impact on hormonal balance by blocking hormone activity that should happen naturally. For too long, women have been blamed for their biology instead of supported through these natural transitions. So today, you're going to start to get that support you so deserve. So the sugar connection, it is important to understand that sugar isn't just in desserts, it hides in unexpected places. Salad dressings, pasta sauces, yogurt, protein bars, even healthy breakfast cereals. So the more savvy you get at identifying sugars through their hidden names in food products that you may be purchasing that do come in some sort of a package format, we do want to keep them to a minimum, but they do still show up in our lives. The savvier you get at identifying them, the easier it's going to be to reduce your added sugars on your day-to-day. Sugar consumption will trigger those blood glucose spikes and crashes and teach your body to crave more sugar for quick energy. It can increase your chance of a condition called insulin resistance. Insulin resistance develops over time and causes stubborn weight gain, especially around our midsection. Sugar will also add to the hormonal chaos. So despite the fact that estrogen and progesterone fluctuation and decline is inevitable in midlife, what doesn't have to happen is the chaos and the symptoms that come as a result. Inflammation blocks hormone receptors, and this is what makes menopausal or perimenopausal symptoms feel worse and make your energy feel even more depleted. So we have a strategy to reset your energy and keep it consistent each day throughout the day. And all we need to do is make some simple changes to get some pretty powerful results. Number one, we're going to focus on resetting your nutrition habits. We will begin this week by removing added sugars from your diet. We will start with the obvious sources like sweetened coffee, juice, and packaged snacks before we tackle the hidden ones. So we'll do it in a step by step. We're then going to look at what we call movement medicine. This is where we want to look at how you are moving and make sure that one, you are moving consistently, but that we are incorporating gentle movement that actually supports your hormones and energizes your body rather than depleting your energy stores. So we will look at things like a 10-minute walk after meals, for example, that helps to stabilize blood sugar naturally. We're not going to be looking at anything strenuous here. It really isn't needed. And number three, we're going to look at your mindset. We need to make sure that we are breaking down that belief that you are not able to do anything about this situation. I want to make sure that you know you are not alone. I want you to understand that your body's changes simply require the right level of support in the right way. We don't want you to feel shamed, and I certainly don't want you to feel isolated. You are not alone, and you are now in a community with women who fully understand what you're going through. So what you're going to notice this week as we go through the next 7 days is as follows. In the first couple of days, you might experience some slight minor headaches or some additional cravings as your body adjusts to the changes you're going to be making. Just know that this is normal, and the best way to combat this over the next couple of days is to stay hydrated and make sure that you are including a form of protein in as many of your meals as possible. When we get to the middle of the week, days 3 and 4, you should then start to notice that your energy is more sustainable throughout the day. There will be less crashes, specifically in the afternoon. You will notice mental clarity starting to return where you currently are feeling a little foggy, and you should be noticing fewer cravings for sugar and carbs, and your mood should start to become a little more stable. As we get to the end of the week, you should notice any bloating has been reduced, and you will not be retaining water, which typically shows up as some sort of swelling or puffiness in the ankles or other areas of the body. You should notice a spark, and that's how we like to describe it. It feels like hope, and your belief that things can be different really does reignite. Your sleep should start to improve, and morning energy should increase. So remember, we're focusing on tiny, consistent steps each day so as not to overwhelm you, but trust me, this ends up resulting in major, major results. So your action plan for today, we're going to start off simple. I want you to think about your morning metabolism boost. I want you to eat within 60-90 minutes of waking. And ideally, your breakfast will include some form of protein, whether that's eggs, Greek yogurt, or maybe you make a smoothie and put some protein powder in there. The key is to eat within 60 to 90 minutes. We want to break that fast. We don't want you to go too long without eating once you arise, because this can set your blood sugar levels off erratically right from the get-go if we don't put the right amount of food in to stabilize blood sugar quickly. You then want to look at subtracting sugar. So we're going to start small. I want you to identify and eliminate one obvious source of added sugar in your diet. So we're not asking you to read labels or anything at this point. Just think about an obvious source. So for example, if you currently have a teaspoon of sugar in your coffee, that is one that is obvious and you may want to eliminate. We then want you to think about starting to move. Again, very simple, not overwhelming. Try to take a 5-minute walk today. That's it. Outside in nature, preferably after the largest meal of the day. So if you can work it in after your dinner, or if you tend to have your largest meal at lunchtime, work that 5-minute walk in outside. That will go a long way towards improving your digestion, and balancing blood sugar levels. And also today, I want you to just think about your mindset. You have access here in your app to an affirmation swipe file. I want you to choose an affirmation that resonates with you. I want you to write it in your journal pages that are also provided for you in your app and repeat several times in the mirror, looking at yourself with real intention. That's all you need to be focusing on today. Just remember that today is the day that you stop fighting your body and you start listening to what it needs. If you have any questions at all, please don't forget to jump into our community in your app. I will be there to answer questions, and your other peers will be there for support. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.